Big data analytics capability and firm performance. A review on conceptual and practice perspectives. I'm Sahan Javarne and I'm working with Dr. Ajit Bedis and Dr. Ajant Samarakon from University of Kelaniya. So first of all, we'll understand the key differences among these terms: big data analytics, and big data analytics capability. So first of all, when we go to the big data is about the data itself. That is the volume, variety, velocity, veracity, value, variability, and visibility. So these are the 7 ways which are explaining the big data. And when we go to the big data analytics, so we are adding the technology part on top of data. And the next one is on the big data analytics capability. So there we are adding the technology, data, and the other organizational factors. So this is like a ladder. When you go from big data to BDA to BDAC, we are adding one by one from data plus technology, from data plus technology plus other organizational factors. Next slide explains the big data in practice. Even though I have explained few examples here, there are many other companies that are using big data for their performance improvement. So here I have outlined the Target Corporation, then Amazon, then GE, Fortune 1000 companies, then Netflix, and McKinsey. In their research work they use big data. So these are various examples how big data is being used in practice. Next one is about the empirical gaps. So I have mainly identified 4 empirical gaps. So first one is on the IT capability construct is being used in big data research. Since big data is a new thing, most of the big data research is being carried out using the IT capability construct. And second one is that most of the big data researchers have neglected the non-technical elements. So they are focusing only with the technical elements of big data. Third one is on the mixed results in big data analytics. And fourth one is on the limited focus given to mediating and moderating impacts or the variables. So let's go one by one. First one is on the IT capability construct. As you know, BDAC construct is different from the IT capability construct, and these two may not necessarily correlate as well. But since this is something new, evolving, most of the big data researchers, they are using the IT capability construct in measuring the big data, which is not correct. Hence, it is an empirical gap. Second one is on the non-technical elements of big data. So, big data is mainly based on technical aspects. So that is correct. Since it is new, most of the researchers are done in technical aspects as well. But in reality, we are implementing this big data in organizations. And for that, we need to understand how this is interacting with other non-technical elements. But unfortunately, in social sciences, this is still few and fragmented. Hence, elimination or non-consideration of non-technical elements in big data is an empirical gap. Third one is on the mixed results, which means there are either positive or negative results in big data. Some firms get positive results by implementing big data, some get negative, and disappointing results lead to better firm performance. So likewise, I have highlighted few examples or few researchers that shows that big data researchers have mixed results. That is not conclusive. Last one is on the mediating and moderating effects. So as you can see, big data and firm performance is not a direct relationship. There are mediators and moderators impacting this relationship, such as knowledge management orientation, adaptive marketing capabilities, digital dynamic capabilities, process oriented capabilities, business strategy alignment. So these are various mediators and moderators which are impacting this relationship. So this is the fourth one or the fourth empirical gap that I just want to highlight. Next one is on the theoretical gap. So I have highlighted the theoretical gap or the theory in the left pane and the gap on the right pane. So RBV or the resource based view is one of the prominent theories that we used in research, and in big data also we are using RBV as one of the main theory. And there are 4 properties for a resource to be identified as a resource which is giving sustainable competitive advantage, that is valuable, rare, imperfectly imitable and non-substitutable, that is VRIN property. And this BDA is also having this VRIN property. So this is about this theory. But unfortunately, by implementing big data, firms always, they do not perform better than their rivals. Hence, this theory may not be correct always. Hence, it is a theoretical gap. Hence, firms need to develop distinctive or rather difficult to imitate firm level capabilities. So then we'll come to the dynamic capability view. So there it says firms need to have changing capabilities in responding to dynamic or the changing market situations. And dynamic environment favors the dynamic capabilities, and ordinary capabilities are suited for stable environment. But again, in this theory, it is not precise and it does not prescribe exactly how to identify the capabilities and operationalize. Hence, it is a gap. So then the final gap in terms of theories. So final theory is the socio-materialism theory. So this is one of the main important theories where it says in an organization we have 3 main components: organization, physical and social. So when we apply this to the BDA, organizational means IT management, physical means IT infra, and social means the skill and knowledge of the people. And these dimensions are interlinked in organization. But again, the gap is that it is less specific definition of technology and neglect broader social structures. So then in summary, now we have seen big data is a rapidly developing practice in terms of technology and business, but there's little research on how to effectively use it. It is an emergent area in organizations. It is little, in a sense the presence is still new, but it is growing fast, emerging. And then last one is about the big data productivity paradox. Even though it is emerging and growing at a rapidly fast pace, it is not giving us the favorable outcomes as always. Hence, disappointing results are the key concerns in big data. So then finally we are saying yes, we need to do more and more research in big data. So I am Sahan Jayavarna, and this is the end of my presentation, and you can always email me at sahan.jayavarna@gmail.com any query, and I am happy to clarify any of the queries. Thank you very much.